Hey, to start off, I wanted to have actual, relaxing music or whatever in the background, but of course, with copyright laws, you can't do that in YouTube videos. And I did have some sort of some atmospheric sounds, but it sounded terrible through the speakers. It was very warped and just sounded annoying. So I guess we'll just do this with my voice as I have with all of them. Okay, I don't know what that sound was. Let's see. I'm going to thank the people who commented on my last video. I know some of you have told me time and time again that people have told you that my videos seem to be helping them. They don't feel alone, and I need to remember that. That's something I keep forgetting. That there are people who watch them but don't say anything. It's just, I guess it's hard for me because I'm out here, speaking out against it, about all this stuff, and I know how very difficult it is to make things public. I'm surprised I haven't ever started it. I must have been manic when I thought to do this and even tried and started, so since then I haven't been able to stop. Anyway, so I want to start off with a topic that is obviously in the title. Suicide. The reason I'm doing this topic so soon is because it's very important. It is very vital to talk about, and it's a life-threatening situation. And therefore, if I'm lucky enough to help someone, then they will survive that so that they can get help with other issues they may be having. Usually people who are suffering, obviously, from suicidal thoughts have more underlying issues that they need to deal with, whether it's depression or anxiety or, any sort of mental illness, really. Suicide tends to tie into any of it. So the people who are feeling suicidal, have suicidal thoughts, even a plan, have even attempted it or are planning attempting it, you're not alone. Believe me, there are, dare I say, millions of people out there who are dealing with it like you. Maybe, I don't know, Rachel, would you say even billions?
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, there's, over 7 billion people at this point. I'm sure at least 1 billion people deal with suicide or have at least dealt with suicidal thoughts or emotions or actions, or plans, for that matter. So, to start off, I'm gonna talk about my history just really briefly, because I believe I had mentioned it in my last. Hold on, my computer wants to restart. Remind me in one day. There we go. What does that mean? Okay. Perfect. Sorry, computer wanted to shut down on me. So, what's the word I'm looking for? Excuse me if I have to take a second to think so I don't sound like a complete doofus. Doofus. Well, I'll just put that. My first, damn it, honey, what's the word I'm looking for?
I'm not paying attention.
Thank you. Nothing. My first experience with anything involving suicidal thoughts or anything of that nature, I was about 13 years old. I distinctly remember being in my room, my bedroom, and I was laying at, I was kind of on my, I'd say my knees and my elbows with a steak knife and a freezer pad. I'd wrap the freezer pad in a cloth. That way I could numb the skin, and then I would take that off, take the steak knife, and start basically sawing away at my wrists. It was a very meager attempt at harming myself. At that time, I wanted to die. I remember crying. I remember saying, please, please, just bleed. I wanted it to cut through. I wanted, and I remember distinctly my dad out in the living room in his recliner watching TV while I was doing all this. Because it was a very powerful moment in my life. Not in a positive sense, of course. but it's not. It's a memory I've yet to forget. And I would do that. I did that over a course of about 3 years, off and on. I would cut my wrists just like that. It was right across. You can't see because they were such, like I said, meager attempts. I don't really even have scars. I did for a brief period, but it all went away. But then it got, as time went on, the cutting, it turned from cutting with a steak knife to cutting with broken glass. And then I didn't really so much cut on my wrists, although I do have scars from a few times I did, but I don't think you could see them. It's kind of hard in this lighting. You might be able to just make out some. Either way. But it actually moved its way up to my shoulders, mainly this one because I'm left-handed. I do have some here, but not as bad. But I got scars that run all the way down both my arms. And so that people who are watching this who are dealing with cutting, self-harm, or whatever, can know for sure that they're hearing from somebody who's dealt with it. I do want to show something, but if you see all those raised areas, those are all scars. All left, right, up, down, left, right, diagonal, But they run all the way down, and they continue down this way. These are the worst because I've done it the most there. I had done it the most there. So, anyway, I know where you're coming from. Not only that, I've harmed in many other ways. Mentally and emotionally, I tend to harm myself. I consider myself a mental and emotional masochist. I'm so used to it because there's different forms of self-harm. It's not always physical. It's also mental and emotional. Sometimes I'll just torture myself with so much negative thoughts about myself. I'll beat myself up mentally and emotionally. Sometimes physically. I tend to. I'm laughing at myself for this. I'm not laughing at anyone else for it. Plus, just the way just saying it sounds funny. Sometimes I punch myself in the head. Other times I'll punch myself in the leg or the arm or whatever when I'm really upset with myself, embarrassed, whatever it may be. There's also I've overdosed on medicine twice. One of them including large amounts of alcohol, more than I had ever drank. I mean, multitudes more than, is that the word? Anyway, but yes, I've tried to asphyxiate myself. I had gone so close as to, I created a new set of rope, tied it to a tree branch. That took about an hour. I mean, that's true planning. When you're doing it, when you're setting this up for an hour and you have not changed your mind, that is true planning with suicide. And I went as close as to being able to put it around my throat, ready to jump. But I put my weight on it while it was still on the stepladder, and realized I was scared, too afraid to do it, so I tried to overdose. Because that's easier to do because it's a prolonged suicide. Not very long, but hanging yourself is very, at the moment. There's no doing it and waiting and seeing. So anyway. So that's my experience with suicide. Now, for the people who are harming themselves, whether it's as small as poking, yourself with a needle just to draw a little bit of blood, to those who are seriously considering, say, jumping off a cliff and they're planning it, or putting a gun to their head. Here's my philosophy on all this, when it comes to suicide. If you kill yourself, that's it. That's the end. There's no turning back. No, oops, I changed my mind. It's it. If you just take one more day and see where it leads you, the only thing that can happen, the only it can't get worse. It can only get better. I mean, yeah, in small portions, yeah, it can get worse, but suicide is the worst of the worst. You can't get worse than that. Sure, yes, you might be looking for relief. I understand that. 100%. But you don't know. You don't know. There may be, very well may be, relief out there in the future. So why not just stick around and wait and see? At the very least, that's all you can really do. I mean, you can do more than that, clearly, but I'm just saying, don't go as far as suicide. If anything, if you're feeling suicidal, if you find yourself planning it, find a sleeping pill. One that you can take, melatonin, for instance. I take that. It's natural. You can get over the counter. Find it if you can't get a prescribed medication for sleeping from your doctor for whatever reason to knock yourself out. Find something like that, melatonin, sleep aid that's over the counter. Take it, lay down, and let yourself sleep through it. If you find yourself continuing to feel this way, I mean, I'd say do this first off, but if you don't want to get anyone else involved right away, do that. Next step is obviously talk to friends and family. There are people. Those people tend to be your support group, your safety net, and they'll understand. Family and friends, they love you. They understand. That's what they're there for. If you either don't have close family at all, or if you find you feel you don't have any friends, or nobody understands, that's fine. I understand that. But then here's the next step. Call here. Let me get it. I have it right here. I keep it with me all the time. Of course, this is more of an eerie thing. Look up a crisis hotline, or a suicide prevention hotline number. Just type it in. Seriously, type it into your search. Suicide prevention hotline. You know what? There is a number. I saw it. Let me look it up online. It's a national thing. I'll read it off to you. Let's see, suicidehotlines.com. USA National Suicide Crisis Hotlines. Let me get the number here for you. I need to make it easier to find the number. Alright. There's two of them right here that I have in front of me. You can probably see me. I can't see you. Well, I can't see you normally. Shut up. Anyway. Here it is. One of them is 1-800-SUICIDE, and that's 1-800-784-2433. And if you didn't catch that, you can rewind a little bit in a few seconds in the video, because I want to try and keep this not too long. Anyway, the next one, it's called National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. It's 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. Those two can help you. You'll have someone to talk to. They'll be there for you as long as you need them. I mean, their job is to make sure that you're okay, and they can find the help that you may need outside of the phone call. So you really have nothing to lose in doing so. Now, if you live in the Erie, Pennsylvania area, I hate the fact that I'm giving away my location. If you're out to kill me, believe me, I have a lot of people that'll kill you first. Yeah. Anyway. Here's the card. Stupid lighting. Oh, it's backwards. Look at that. No, I think this gets flipped around. Either way, there's a crisis services. I've called that many, many, many times, and they've helped me. 456-2014. The second number that I don't really, I'm not sure about that. you can dial that too. Then there's a warm line, which is for people who just need to simply talk. If they're anxious, if they're lonely, whatever it may be. Seriously, if you're lonely even, call that number, 1-877-550-4007. They'll talk to you for a while. Then you have outpatient services, which is, well, if you live in the Erie area or if you're nearby, Safe Harbor Behavioral Health, love them. I see my psychiatrist there. I was seeing my, I don't know, I skip around with therapists. My therapist was great, but I don't know. I don't know why I keep changing. There's also, if you're in the area, Crisis Residential Unit, CRU. They will take you in, and you will be there for about 5 days. You'll have your own bed or your own room. And you'll have group therapy. They supply meals. They have a Wii. It's fun. It's from last time I was there. Well, the only time I was there. I wish I could go again sometimes because it's so much fun. But the sports kind of games where you get up and do things. You know, they don't have Wii games where you just sit down and, you know, they don't want that. They want you to get up and be active, if anything. And if you're a smoker, you can smoke too. Every 2 hours, they'll take you out for a cigarette. So anyway, yeah, suicide is just it's not even a resort. Please, if you're feeling that way, call somebody, talk to somebody you need. There's help out there. I know how uncomfortable it is, believe me. I mean, whenever I attempted suicide and didn't succeed and all the hospital stuff and everything, it was just so uncomfortable. I was out of, you know, there are people that I didn't know, there are places I was going that I wasn't familiar with. It can be scary, but that's if you actually take it to that extreme. If you don't take it to that extreme, you have control. That control. Call somebody, talk to somebody, get yourself help, because it's out there, it's possible. I'm still alive. I tried to commit suicide 3 times in a month. Not to mention a few years prior, I keep forgetting because it was such an isolated incident. I tried to asphyxiate myself by tying a plastic bag around my head. I came close, but my wife saved me. I think I said that in another video. But it's not worth it. Believe me. If anything, it could make things worse, especially if, you know, so I wonder if I'm as bad as I am now because of all that I put myself through with the medication, the overdosing of the medication, the hospitalization, just, I don't know. It's hard to say, but it's not worth it one bit at all. Even if you succeed, and I didn't want to say anything like that, but even if you succeed, you're leaving everyone behind. And you don't want that kind of regret. The kind of pain I remember seeing in everyone's eyes after I tried to take my life, it's not worth it. It's not worth risking that, let alone succeeding, and then, I don't know. I mean, I can't say because I've never died before, obviously, but just, please, get the help you need. I have the numbers on here. In fact, I'll tell them again right before I leave, or right before I'm done with this. Please, try to find help. Because even if I don't know you, I do care. I know that's hard to believe. It's a fault of mine, I guess. I care too much about the individual person. I mean, you'll see in my videos, you know, I hate humanity and stuff like that, but that's a whole thing. When it comes to individual people, I care, and I care too much. So, please, take care of yourself. Sorry about that. Get the help you need. If you want to send me a message, send me a video response, something. I don't, you know, if you're comfortable enough with that, but you don't want to talk to anyone else, I'm willing to talk. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to answer whatever you need. So, alright, take care of yourself, guys, and I'll leave you these numbers again. If you're in the Erie area, well, I suppose you can call crisis services whether you're in the Erie area or not. You know, you got those numbers there. And the warm line too. Don't forget about the warm line. That's helped me from falling into some bad periods. You know, because they can actually help keep you from getting to where you need to call this. I think that's generally what they're there for. And then let's hopefully. Oh shoot! Wait. Yep, I might have it. Yes, I do. Bam. Suicide hotlines. The U.S. national numbers. It's 1-800-SUICIDE. That's, well, it's HOPE, 1-800-SUICIDE. 1-800-784-2433. And the next one is National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which is 1-800-23-TALK, which is specifically 1-800-273-8255. There's a few other numbers down here, but I don't want to give too many away. Look online, you'll find plenty of hotline numbers for suicide prevention and whatnot. So, no excuses. No excuses. And if I find out that you did it, I'll kill you. So, God, I'm lame. Anyway, I'll talk to you later, guys. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. Send me messages if you want. I'm putting it out there again. Send me messages, video, ask me questions. Just tell me your story if you wish. I will communicate with you if you want that. If you don't feel you have anyone else, you have a friend in me. That's for sure. So, all right. I'll talk to you guys later. I'll be putting up more informative videos. I don't know, maybe once or twice a week. So, alright, I'll see you guys there. Bye-bye.